Dr. Venugopal Rao Garu holds a PhD and MPhil from Osmania University. His doctorate is in statistics from Osmania University. Venugopal Rao is an experienced data analyst who has over 15 years of work experience in diverse areas of verticals such as manufacturing, service, media, telecom, retail, pharma, and education. Prior to Jack's Smart mandate, he has worked with reputed organizations like TNS India and NFO MBL and several clients across UK, France, and Asia Pacific region. Venusa's expertise lies in understanding of mathematical and statistical theories, experimenting with new technologies, and innovative usage of theory in the field of analytics. We welcome you, sir, and I would like to request Dr. Venugopal Rao Garu to give a lecture on Product in Industry 4.0.
So, madam, am I audible, madam? Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
1 minute. 1 minute. Yeah. 1 minute. My screen is also visible.
Yes,
Hello.
sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir, you're visible.
Hi. Good afternoon. I think we are coming to end of the last session, so it's always difficult to take the last session. But yeah, good afternoon all, and thanks for JBIAI this wonderful opportunity to be part of this national webinar. Especially, I learned so many things from the first two speakers, especially from Nandita ma'am presentation. We heard about how to, go to media to market. And also from, Mukul point, we heard about how to go to, get the patent process. So on the whole, we today, we just heard a lot about from idea, prototype, patent, MVP, trademark, how to launch it, and advertising, and how to scale it. So here I will take different perspective as being a technical person, as being more of an execution. I'm just going to discuss about how to put your thoughts in the product and put it in the execution perspective, and see how can we deliver the best insights to the client. So my discussion whole with the technical perspective and execution perspective, how we can make the products with what are the products should have the criterions or some of the properties that ultimately go and serve the customer. So that's what I'm going to talk. It's more of how the products are evolving over a period of time with latest technologies and with the latest other issues. So next 40 minutes, we are going to see all these things. To set the context, I just wanted to play a small video, right? What's happening outside. Just see this video. I hope you can see this video, correct? Hello. So with the context of, you know, with this context in video, so India is going to be the hub for the AI powered products in future. We'll start the discussion. So if you see the present world status, the world is changing very dynamically than ever before. Technology is growing exponentially. So because of this technology change, we are getting two kinds of folds. One is most of the existing, we are losing most of the some of the existing jobs, and some of the new jobs are also getting created. So earlier also there. So most of the existing jobs, even this threat is there even earlier also with the concept of the automation. But now because of the technology growth, whatever we have seen in the previous video, there has been a lot of technology developments are happening. Now this threat even comes for even white collar jobs also. So generally humans will take the three types of decisions when it comes to their business. One is the strategic decision, second one is the tactical, and third one is the operational decisions. So by virtue of the automation, earlier we used it to do a lot of a lot of operational kind of decisions is getting automated by virtue of automation. That cause some of the jobs, causing losing some of the jobs. By the virtue of artificial intelligence, now the same threat even come from most of the practical and strategic decisions also, because the systems work with some kind of intelligence. They now the systems come up, these products come up, and they are also taking decisions at the tactical front and strategic fronts. That's how now the threat is coming for these two decisions also. So this has given both opportunity as well as threat. If you use your technology, your knowledge, and if you upskill yourself and try to build the products with the latest technologies, this is going to the good news. Or if you are not able to upskill yourself and you are not able to enhance product with the latest developments, yes, you are going to get the threat side. So as per some saying that the illiterate of 2021 is the person who is not able to read and write, the person who is not able to upskill and reskill. So that's how the industry is moving very dynamically. And the reason behind it, as most of the people are aware, that the reason behind for this is one is the digitalization. Now I think actually this, it's a pretty old slide. Actually before COVID, I think people 85% transaction happened through the digitalization, but after COVID is further accelerated. Now most of the human transactions are happening the digital in nature, and that is one of the more reason to build, reason to create your products with latest some of the most advanced advanced qualities. We'll discuss how actually digitalization really accelerated the products. And second one is, as we are seeing a lot of transformation happen in the customer experience today. The customers are like, there has been a lot of transformation happening in the customer experience. Every customer wanted the personalized solution. That's the one of the most trend happened in the latest products. Now whatever product you take, so they wanted to give the most personalized services. So now all the products whatever we are building, they are there because of this customer experience. There has been transformation happen in the customer experience. Whatever product you build, you are going to serve at the personalization level. That's what I mean by there has been huge transformation in the customer experience. So all these basically making product people, the people who are going to build the products, they are is making to think about their solution, their offerings. Now all the products have become customer centric. Earlier most of the products become provider centric now, but whatever product you build, ultimately they are going to be the most at the customer centric. And all these technologies, I will show how the technologies are changed over the period of time. So these are the two things happened. Digitalization and the customer experience is really accelerated the products. How they are really accelerated the products. So as I told you that digitalization is the irreversible shift. It basically accelerating a lot of data. Hence, most of the companies are using this digital data and trying to create the solutions which are going back to the customer and try to give the most personalized services. So it's not only for any one domain. It's happening across all the domains, whether you say the healthcare, industrial, education, whatever it means. So whatever technology, whatever domain you are going to work in your future, or your students are going to work, there is no way getting out of working without data. So this is happening across all the domains, and the reason behind is the digital transformation. It's not only digital transformation. And if you see the present world status, present situation compared to earlier, we see that there has been a lot of evolution happen in terms of tools. There is a lot of evolution happen in terms of computing, in terms of sensors, data, and interfaces. And not only these evolved, and they are all working together in a convergence. Now we have like connectivity, now we have internet, we have 5G, now we have speed. Now there has been a lot of evolution happened in terms of algorithmic, like computer vision, natural language processing algorithms, and we are seeing a lot of IoT based, like sensors are creating a lot of data. And all these are basically individually and working together, making all science fictions as reality. So this is where, as a productors, we need to think, how can we leverage all these advancements happened, and try to build the products which these with the power of all these technologies together. So now, like now we are seeing a lot of cloud and its technologies, and all basically makes people to even create product are very, lot is really encouraging a lot of people to create the products also. Because earlier, if you want to really start a product, if you want to build something, you have a lot of some barriers, like you need infrastructure barrier, you have the data, you have the technology, internet barriers. But now we have cloud and edge emerged as a one of the lot of, companies are giving cloud instances on the rent, so that will basically remove your infrastructure barrier. And now we are in the movement of 5G, so there is no problem for the connectivity. And we have a lot of sensors are getting cheaper and cheaper, we are generating a lot of data, and a lot of algorithms, open source, all these are making, giving a lot of opportunity to people really come out to and create the products. So that's what present world of status. And I told you that, behind all this is the data, and you must heard that data is oil, data is electricity. Yes, because now we have so much of data and so much of connectivity, so much of speed, we don't have any infrastructure barriers. Even the processing speed also, we have like big data technologies, even we have a lot of open sources technologies, we have GPUs and TPUs, everything is emerged and making world is really ready to create lot of products. All you need is, you need to have a nice greater thought, you need to have a thought, that's all. Because a lot of infrastructure, a lot of things are already available for you, just get into the, you just consider all together and get into the action. So that's what the world is changed dynamically from the last 10. I mean, if you see this happened like the last few years, this is further accelerating. Earlier, I think out of now, I think every 18 months the data is getting developed, doubled. So that much of data we are generating. So this is because of the time, I'm just skipping some of the slides. This is to say that we are generating huge amounts of the data. And the three reasons behind this, the data is basically, one is the social media. So we are generating a lot of data in social media. Second one is the memory devices are getting cheaper and cheaper. You know how many devices are connecting to the internet and how much data we are generating. And third one is basically sensors. Like today we are able to capture a lot of data through the sensor, which really changes a lot of, which really changes industry completely. It has taken to the industry to the next level. The sensors data, using the sensors data at real time to take the decisions. So even 5G is basically removing the speed and all other net kind of barriers. And as I told you that, it's not only having the data, at the same time, the algorithms also evolved from past to now. So now it's, even though we have a lot of unstructured data like text data or image data, at the same time, the algorithms also evolved. Like we have like computer vision algorithms are evolved. Now, even though your data is like in unstructured format, like images, now we have technologies or algorithms which can take the data and provide insights from the data. Even though your data is from video or audio, image or video, there are technology, there are algorithms developed to take this data and provide the insights out of the data. That's where we are seeing a lot of computer vision technologies. And at the same time, like as I told you that even though we have a lot of sensor data which giving a lot of data, at the same time data cannot solve any problem. So we need to have algorithms also. So the emergence of these computer vision algorithms really using this image data and providing the lot of insights. So this will basically remove the barrier of handling unstructured data, processing unstructured data, handling unstructured, all those are also taken care by the latest technology development. At the same time, so these are some of the applications we are already seeing: face detection, optical character recognition. So these are all we are able to build with these technologies. We are all able to build the products with these kind of facilities. This is happening because of algorithmic development. At the same time, even though a lot of natural language data, text data, we are creating a lot of text data. At the same time, there has been a lot of natural language processing algorithms also emerged over the period of time. So which is basically removing the barriers of handling the text data. So that's why we are already seeing a lot of chatbots, computer assisted chatbots we are seeing. So basically now the computers can also understand the text, so they can do a lot of so with this concept you can try to build some of the products which can work with the text and help customers. So we already seeing now most of the customer call center jobs are going up because of most of the companies now they are deploying their chatbots for user queries. So yeah, so behind all this, so the summary is basically because the technology is developed in all the facets of connectivity, cloud, algorithm, data, handling the data by virtue of the artificial intelligence that is creating intelligence from the data. Now people are using these technologies together in various forms and creating the advanced products. So this is what how the products are progressive, change over the period of time. So this is basically from one of this is how actually the products are evolved from the fast. Earlier, in the product 1.0, in old days, we have a lot of products are there. Basically, they are all the rule-based products. We basically write some of the rules. Those products will work based on the tools, like our refrigerators, TVs. Now we are moving after some time, because of all these technology changes. Now this basically because product 2.0, where we are seeing a lot of crowd sources products. That means these are the products basically, Google, all those kind of products. The moment the people use them more and more, that becomes more and more profitable. These people will say the crowd intelligence products. Now we are moving into the product 3.0, which is basically ecosystem kind of products, where we are creating complete smart city is a product, complete smart hospital is a product. So this is a complete ecosystem of products. So in the product 2.0, actually, people will interact with the products, but in the product 3.0, the products will interact with the products as well as people. Like your smart city project you take, if your products also will talk to each product and take the data and try to put the these kind of ecosystem of products. That's how the products are evolving from fast to now. So all this happened because of the three things: the data, the algorithms, everything. So whatever whatever products you are going to build, so this is where I think you need to think about how these products are progressed over the period of time. And as I told you that, the behind of all these products, the artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence basically works with the twofold. At the first fold, you first need to understand the intelligence. Second, you need to apply that intelligence on the product as a web framework or something. So understanding the intelligence, where you require some of the machine learning and deep learning techniques. Because of the time, I'm not going into the deeper. Once you understand intelligence, you need to create those kind of intelligence in the as a product. So, but this intelligence actually now is completely because with the algorithms like in computer vision, natural language processing, even now actually people are also building like combination of natural language processing and computer vision. So all these, as the computers can understand these kind of data by using computer vision, natural language processing. Now people are using machine learning and deep learning technologies to understand the intelligence they're creating the then using that intelligence for creating the products. This is how the algorithm, this is how the creation of the products is completely changed. Now all the products are become evidence based, data based, because you have a lot of data. At the same time, the algorithms also emerge. So people are using these kind of data and try to build the product which can go and help the customer. So that is the logic behind products using creating products using the data. So that's what AI will help. So yeah, as I told that the key product should have these kind of properties. Because we are in the digital era, we have plethora of data, we have technologies and tools. Hence, we are building the products by using artificial intelligence concepts. So hence, whatever product you build, it should have these kind of 4-5 kind of things. Use your data to data-driven solutions, and your product should improve the customer engagement. It should also eliminate the inefficiencies in the productivity. and build the products in the faster, because we already heard a lot from Nandita madam about opportunity and durability, timely. So all these are very important things, and we should also, any product you build should also have these kind of properties. So now, because of all these technologies, now I think humans are completely being augmented by the AI or ML based products, from what to eat, what to see, where to buy. We have seen a lot of products like Amazon, what to eat, what to see, lot of products are giving or augmenting the help. So that's what the products are completely moving. So to put it summary, so whatever we have seen, because of all the technologies and tools, product 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, the way the products are basically and operating is completely changed from the over a period of time. So anybody who is getting into the products, anybody who is wanted to build some kind of product, the product should have these kind of quality. This is one of the important qualities every product should have. Earlier, the most of the products are reactive. Now, because of the data, technology, algorithms, the product should have that proactive in the model. They now every product should have proactive in nature. So that's what if you see, like I will tell you an example in YouTube. When you watch something in the YouTube, whenever you go and such second time if you log in, you see the videos based on your, as per your viewing habit. So that's where the systems are working and understanding customer at a personal level, and try to provide the solutions, try to give some kind of proactive decision. It's taking some proactive. So most of the products should be proactive in nature. So earlier reports, most of the reports are earlier are dynamic. Now static. Now everything is the dynamic. Now because a lot of tools and technologies happening, so every product, whatever will, should have the real-time analytical capability. Somebody is coming, today we are able to track our parents, or somebody is going, we are able to track their location. So everything is happening. So whatever product you build, it should be dynamic in nature. It's not about the volume. As I told you that in the industry 4.0, all the people wanted to get the customized solution, personalized solution. It's not about the volume. Your product should have the concept of the value. It should give back to your customer the value what they are looking for. So it's not about volume. It's basically more about the value. So because of all these technology changes, what is happening, the way the people are building the products also changed. Earlier when we don't have too much technology, we try to build the technology around the business. But now, because the technology is emerging, now we are trying to find how can I use this data? How can I use this data to give some insight to my customer? So now the business models are changing. Now that the products are coming up, how can I use the building some business cases around the technology, because this technology exists. How can I use this technology to to serve my customer better way? So let me give some example. Let's say you are a manufacturing unit. So your sensors are capturing a lot of data. Now you need to understand how can I use this sensor data to improve the operational effectivity. How can I find some kind of how can I use this sensor data per product to for proactive maintenance, or how can I. So that's how you need to build the business around the technology. That's what the major shift happened in the industry 4.0. As I told you that every customer is unique. So you are targeted the more customer at individual levels. You cannot find the solution for a segment level. You are always, your product try to have you the customized, personalized services. That is the one of the unique quality any product should have in the industry 4.0. As I told you that now all the products are building based upon the evidence based model. I mean data based model. So that's what I say. So till now we have seen the 4 industry revolution. This is what people will call industry 4.0. The first industry revolution is the gas. Steam based industry revolution. That basically changed a lot of transportation system by inventing trains. And the second industry revolution is basically electricity-based industry revolution. So with the electricity-based industry revolution, we are able to create a lot of products which essentially try to reduce the physical stress of the humans. And third is IT. And we are in the 4th industry revolution, which is basically called IoT, big data, whatever you call. In this industry revolution, the products are not running by electricity or running by oil or anything. All the products are running by the data. So you understand the customer by using his experience, his usage of your product, and based on the data, you need to provide the most personalized solution. This is the mantra for the future products. More at customer level, real. So these are the four criteria. They should be proactive in nature, they should be real in nature, and you need to think about how better you can serve the customer using the data at more personal level. So that's what the industry is the products are changing in the industry 4.0. That's what it should be personalized, and they have some kind of analytical capability also. So because you are capturing a lot of data by using this machine learning and deep learning techniques, you are able to find what is going to be your customer next action. So you are able to predict that and try to give the service at that point of time. So that's all possible once you have the data and technology in the place. So that's what, any product you see, there should be personalized, real-time analytical, proactive in nature, and there should be intelligent in the sense, let's say I work for a healthcare company. We have a lot of we capture, we have some data. So based on the data, our product should also give some kind of recommendations which can help the physician or doctor at the point of care and help the patient at his precision medicine. So that's why the product should also be intelligence. So what is happening in the industry 4.0, all the products are becoming all the products are not at all in the transactional nature. Any product you should build, they should have some kind of intelligent capabilities. So if your product only has some kind of transactional thing, maybe it is not and that much attractive. Any product, whatever you build, along with the transactional, it should have also some kind of intelligent capabilities. It should also provide some kind of intelligence to the customer as well as provider. So that's how the industry 4.0 products, and this is to give some kind of things. The next, this is from one of the data strategist, Bennett Marr. Actually, he shortlisted some 25 technologies which is going to rule the world for the next 10 years, 2020 to 2030. All these technologies, if you see artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, wearables, big data, intelligent spaces, blockchains. So these are the technologies basically help. Basically, these are the technology like quantum computing, robotics, like edge computing, 5G network, genomics. So these are the 20 technologies basically which really going to rule the world by creating a lot of products. And one of the common point behind all these products are basically all these works with the data and analytics. So and whatever criterions we have discussed before, like real-time analytical capability, intelligence, and all will possible with the combination of some of these techniques. So these are the techniques basically we need to watch for the next 10 years. Especially quantum computing is basically further accelerated the speed, and it will basically increase your computing fast. And I think quantum computing is one of the key area, upcoming area. And also like edge computing, because cloud and edge, people are moving from cloud to edge to reduce the latency time, because when you are working with, so lot of things are happening in this industry 4.0. So that's what, and I can take a pause here, and if I have any questions, I will answer. Otherwise, I will get into some of the healthcare, some of the use cases. Anybody has any questions, or am I going fast? Hello.
Yeah, no problem, sir. Just check in about the questions in chat box, sir.
1 minute, sir.
Participants have posted their questions in the chat box.
Yeah. Sir, I am not able to see any question. How secure CPS industry 4.0 in the scenario, high tech hacking? Yeah, that's what blockchain is. See, any technology as well as positives as well as negatives are also there. Yeah, that's where your blockchain technology will come and handle these kind of issues. Okay. So now we are getting into some of the use cases. Some of the use cases in the industry 4.0. We'll see some of the use cases. And one of the greatest thing about artificial and deep learning and AI is basically we can see that AI is a social good technology, because now with this technology, like we are able to, as the computers can understand the images, computers can understand the natural language processing. Now most of the companies are really working with the healthcare and education and agriculture. So because I will show some of the health use cases in healthcare and agriculture. That's why most people will say that AI is the social good technology, because once you are able to go and solve the problems which related to which are very close to humans, like healthcare, education, and agriculture, then the technology is really good technologies. I am telling you, in the industry 4.0, there is a huge opportunity. People like you to create some of the products which can really go back and help the humans, because you are all faculty members, you know the technology in and out. You just need to take an idea and create these products by using AI and ML. Right now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show some of the use cases in healthcare. As I told you, that one of the most important and neglected industry, neglected means when you compare this industry along with other telecom and other retail industry, the application of data science is not that much great in as far as healthcare is concerned. But now, because of all this latest technologies and tools, now the healthcare is also progressing heavily with the data science. Now we are seeing a lot of applications in the lot of products are coming in this era to help the people. Like we already seen, like we are able to find the drug for COVID around 15 to 16 months time, or 10 to 12 months time. This is happened because of latest technologies like the drug discovery. And also, I work for a company. I will just show now. Drug discovery is happening now. Computers can also understand the images. We are seeing a lot of products are coming in the radiology, basically which can basically work with I'm not saying they can completely reduce the radiologist, but they will augment the radiologist. Whether the computer mission, computer can give the results where radiologist should say whether the given computer given results is correct or not. So that's how it will reduce the burden of the radiologist. And imagine if the places where the radiologist does not exist, these kind of products are really helpful. How this is possible? Because computers can also understand the images, so we are able to create the products which can work with the images. um, Images, that's what I am saying. So the complete this, because of the computer vision technology, the complete healthcare industry is transformed. Now we are seeing a lot of image, lot of products. Even some of the companies are also build some of the products where they can take the X-ray image of your lung, and whether they predict whether you have the COVID or not. So what's happening? It's happening because computers can understand the images. By virtue of the computer vision technologies, we are able to find these kind of products. Imagine how benefit these products going to be for the humans. And actually, MIT-based student come up with a healthcare product. Handling human brains, human brain images are very difficult. So that's where computers can do the far better job, because to handle this kind of tricky images. So MIT-based students come up with a product where they can access the human brains faster than humans. So that's where we should use the technology when it is required. So that's why complete healthcare industry is completely transforming, and a lot of people are trying to provide or build the products which can basically help the product. So this is where we are also working. So one of the most important data and neglected data is the healthcare data. Today we go to some hospital, they will give something on the paper, and tomorrow if you go to the another hospital, the process has to be continued. So there is nowhere tracking of the data. So now in the digitalization era, so everything is digitalized. So why can't we help? That's why we start up this company called Mediva, where I will represent this company, Mediva. So our aim is to basically create, to you just hear what we are doing from this. This is what we are doing in the Mediva. Just Okay. So this is what we built. One of the most important data is neglected data is the health data. So what we do at the Mediva is basically we digitalize the data, and we also build a product which can really help the doctors not much deviating from the regular practice. So what we have done is we basically build this product, and uh, as soon as by using this product, the physicians or clinicians get some kind of augmentation at the point of care or clinical decision support system. And you have seen a lot of data from various patients, so you have a lot of evidence, so through which we can build some kind of predictive models or some kind of advanced models, which can really help to identify some early detection of the patients, and which will also help the doctors to see what kind of medications are working well, what kind of medications are not working well. All this will happen with the this product. And behind all this product, what it is there, it is the data. So once you are able to create the data, digital data, there has been a lot of analytical, lot of insights we can really give back to the physicians as well as doctors. So that's why what is happening right now, whatever product you see, earlier most of the products are assisted. Now that means assisted means now most of the products have become augmenting. That means while taking the decisions in the industry 4.0, the product should be augment the doctors. I mean, augment the doctor to at least use the data, use the evidence to take the better decision, help the doctors to take the decision. That's where we are moving. We are in the augment. In future, with the technology growing further, and a lot of data is available, we are seeing a lot of quantum computing, all other things, virtual reality, augmented reality. We'll see a lot of autonomous products also, like autonomous products. We are already hearing a lot about Tesla, all these cars. So that's where the products are also moving from assistant, augment into autonomous. That's where we are moving. And so this is what we built for the benefit of patients and doctors, and we are also seeing a lot of virtual assistant products. Now what generally assistants will do, nurses, because they have to remind about the medications, whether they should go for that tests or everything. So a lot of people are building the products which basically give a lot of notification to the patients, where they can alerted, and by that they don't skip any of the medications or any follow-ups. So that's where people are building a lot of products. Even we also see in everybody, we are seeing now because of real time. So real time we are able to track or monitor our health data, and health data. What is happening? See, it's always find the opportunity. As ma'am told, that opportunity is one of the key to build the products. So when the people are tracking their real time data, now actually some of the insurance companies, what they are doing is they are tracking or monitor the patient data, and based on their tracking or monitor, they are basically adjusting their terms also. So that's how this technology should augment other also. So even though the insurance companies are monitoring the health data, and according to that, they are basically giving some kind of adjustments in their insurance terms. And some of the hospitals, basically they track the patient's data, and whenever they see some kind of abnormalities happening on their data, they are sending some early detections or early warnings. That's where the technology is really helping the humans to be more in the proactive. And we are already seeing assisted robotic surgeries. When the surgery is happening, there don't be any issue of the latency. I mean, they should be all on the real time. Now, because of a lot of edge and cloud technologies, we are able to perform the assisted robotic surgery. So because providing or creating all these technologies, all these products in the industry 4.0, the only we are able to creating all these technologies because of all the connectivity. All these are happening: algorithms, connectivity, ability to handle the data. So that's where the products are accelerating. This is what healthcare. And second, in the agriculture, as I told you, that if the technology is going to help the key components of the healthcare and agriculture, that's where the technology is more it has more power and more value. So that's where after healthcare, I took the agriculture. See, there are a lot of Indian startup companies. Last year, I think Indian government has conducted one nice session called RISE, Responsible AI for Social Entrepreneur. There has been a lot of Indian startup companies come and showcased their products, which really help the things. So some of the products which I am showing is basically taken from that. So some of the, see now the computers can understand image, computers can understand text, computer can understand whatever. Now we can really create different kind of products. So these are the some of the products. What they can do, they can take the soil of land, and based on that they can some companies come up with the product based on the soil. They can basically give what kind of crops you should go for. Imagine how much help that is giving for the farmers. So they take the soil, because we can understand, we can handle that kind of data. So based on that, they can give what kind of crops they should go for. And also now computers can understand images. This company, basically this company FarmShots, there's a company, what they can do, they can take the images from the they use the drones and take the images, and from the images they can understand whether the crop is ready to harvest or not. So this kind of products people are building. So what they are doing is just take the picture of the image, and they can see whether it's ready or it's not ready. So like that. And precision spraying also. So even in your home also, if you have two kids require different kind of attention. Even it comes same holds for precision also. So this is one of the company come up with this tool. What it did before spraying, it will take the images of the leaves and see their health, and based on that requirement, it will give the whatever required spray, that amount it will release. So giving more spray is also danger, giving less spray is also imagine. So they come up with this kind of product. What it does is basically it will take the leaf, understand the leaf health, and try to give this kind of what is required, that amount of the spray it will give. So these are all possible with the latest technologies. And fruit picking also, because computers can understand the images, it will see the fruit, whether it will see whether it's ready or not, and based on that it will pick the fruit. And similarly for this also, these are all Indian companies build these products with less infrastructure. So this company is basically you have a lot of tomatoes, basically this kind of product where you can check this. These are all there in their YouTube also. It will basically see the quality of the fruits by seeing computer vision technologies, and based on that it will basically reject the things also. And by using natural language processing, there are a lot of companies are creating products which can real-time translation. Now there is vocal to local. So even though people can take up, and if you talk in your local language into the phone, that the technology will basically convert that into the other person language and automatically translate, and similarly vice versa. That's how people are creating a lot of products. So that's what all this industry 4.0, there's a huge opportunity to go and serve the products which can really help the rural area people, because we can track a lot of their image and audio and data. And now there's a super powerful weapon of the show, mobile phone. We have a lot of data. It's already a lot of data. It's not having the data. We are already technology in place. We have algorithms in place. All you need is to find the suitable use case and do it. Like because of the time, I'm just skipping the HR. Complete HR is getting automated by the technology. Let's say if you want to recruit like 10 people, and if you basically given a notification, you might get 1,000 CVs. If the human wanted to do this kind of things, they might make a lot of mistakes because of human words. Now because natural language processing is there, you just take the job description, you take all the CVs, by using the text comparison, select the CVs which are having a high similarity. So take the top 10, call for the interview. So that's what technology will help the people. And similarly, when the first round of interview is happening about understanding your experience, everything, use the voice-based chatbots, that will. And once you are on the job, also use text-based chatbots, so understanding rules and regulations, telling about company protocols, use them. And when you are on the training also, personalized training, precision training. When it comes to the training also, as per your knowledge and experience, a system should recommend what kind of training you should go for. Even by using the computer vision technologies, you can also identify how happy the employee is. So that's how the complete, this thing is also automated. Why I'm showing all these cases is basically now there is no barrier to handle the type of the data. All you need to find the use cases. Like if you are really working for a college, if the new students are coming, if they have a lot of questions, instead of you solving the questions, why can't you create a chatbot and help them out? When it comes to the, one of the most important thing is basically personalized education is one of the important. Why should we give, similar kind of, training to everybody, because every person is different. And so can we find some kind of mechanism in place, can understand the student and try to give whatever requirement. So all this can possible by understanding the latest tools and technologies. Banking I am skipping because of time, and banks will use a lot of data. As I told you that telecoms and banking retailers are the first people who can use the technology and try to build the products. Now we are already seeing, I don't know how many people are going physical banks now. Everything is happening on the mobile. Even banks will use a lot of technology to upskill and to cross sell, upsell their products. Also, we start. Everybody starts with our banking with a account. Then we will get. Then they will offer credit card, then house loan, then car loan, then now critical health loan. So they will understand the data. They will use data and try to come up for, and that's where they will basically try to sell the products. So they will use a lot of data analytics. Even when you are setting your credit limit, also they will see all your transactions and do this. All even now the money laundering also, anti-money laundering also, they are using a lot of deep learning. So some of these applications, like as I told you that when it comes to the ecosystem, now people are talking about smart cities. And these are some of the applications we built. This is one of the products we built for a long time back. When it comes to the winter, Delhi is fully known for the pollution. So what we did is, can we use the technology to help the people? What we have done is basically we took the small sensors, we place them into different parts in the Delhi. So what these sensors will do, they will capture all the elements in the air, and that information is sent back to our data center, and based on that real time, we can understand how pollution that place is, and immediately we map them we showed them in a map. Anybody who wants to go out, just to open this website and see how polluted that place is. So based on the conditions, we just make them into red and green, and we also given some suggestion whether they can go at that time or not. It's a very simple technique. All we need to put all the technology together to find the use case. And actually this is one of the project. Actually, by understanding images in this project is basically called Smart City, the City Brain project. Actually, China is offering, whenever some accident is happened and their transport system are rerouted such that ambulance and police will reach that place very quickly. So all is happening, understanding the data at the real time. And we already heard a lot, already airports are using this facility to use the face recognition techniques. So there is no check-in, check-out. This will also possible because the computers can also understand these things. So similarly, some of the NLP applications, we built this application for one of our restaurant. As soon as the people come and they will, once they have their feedback, we should use the feedback. As soon as we come up with this product called Lunchbox, as soon as they come up, they will write something. We understand because computers can also understand email, natural language processing. We take their feedback and try to say what they are talking about, whether they are happy with the food, whether they are talking about the experience or ambience and other things, and we will understand the customer. As soon as when the next customer comes the next time, we can go back to his system and see where he is happy, where he is not happy, and based on that his feedback, we can take the necessary action by that customer makes happy. As I told you that Industry 4.0, whatever domain you are working, your ultimate challenge is to make the customer happy at the personalization level. That is the mantra for Industry 4.0. So because of the time, I'm just skipping this thing. So this is what all the products in the Industry 4.0. To give some background, so who will create this kind of products? That kind of person, we need a person who can have those kind of skills. So that person is basically a data scientist. So these are the people who can create this kind of products. Actually, data science is not a single person. It's a collaboration of the field of researchers, analytical people, domain people. So that combination basically makes you to design that kind of products. As I told you, I'm talking more of technical things in this. How can create these kind of products and what kind of people need to work together? How should work together? That's what I'm going to discuss. So as I told you that data science is a multidisciplinary field where domain person will give the problem, and once you have, so the domain people and the computer people and statistical people all needs to work together and create this kind of insights. So that's what the data science is. So yeah. to create this kind of things, so there are two types of roles in the data science. One is the architectural roles, and second one is the executional roles. So if somebody is starting their career, especially some students start their career, they will start with the executional skills. I think if somebody is coming from the most computer background, they will start their career as a data engineer, and somebody who's coming from mathematics and statistics background, they will start their career as a data analyst. They should work together along with the domain people, understand the problem, and try to give the solutions. So that's where it will work. It's a collaborative process. But if you want to become a data scientist, you always need to learn other capability. Let's see, if I am from computer background, I need to understand mathematical and statistical things. At the same time, if somebody is coming from the statistics background, they need to understand the data. So it's a process to become a data scientist. So it will take the time. So that's what. And other than it's one of the most important skill is the data literacy skills, because you are going to work with to solve some kind of domain problems. Once you are going to solve with some kind of domain problem, you need to have a lot of knowledge on the domain. So that's why the data literacy skills are very, very important. I am telling you, now we are in the era of auto ML era. So most of the data science and algorithm Spark is automatical. I will show some of the tools. Is automated. Complete execution is automated. So the only difference will come in the data literacy skills. So that's one of the most important things. How you are able to understand the client problem, what kind of solution is giving to the client, is that solution is really helping the client or not. That is one of the most critical thinking. So whenever you are training your students or anything, please focus on the more at problem level, what kind of problem they are solving, how this product, how this solution is really help the customer. So that's what most important. So that's where the process should be. And these are the some of the process where you can create your teams to build the teams when you are building the teams. And I told you that there are a lot of tools is required. It's a complete ecosystem. You need to be like a multidisciplinary team, and these are some tools to handle the data, some tools to understand the data. As I told you that in the data science is a creative field. Along with your data science skills, you need to have a lot of storytelling capability, a lot of critical thinking also is required. And that's why visualization plays an important role. And as I told you that a lot of tools are already coming up with the auto. Now we are in the auto era. That means a lot of automated machine learning, automated deep learning tools or techniques are coming. You just need to give the input data, it will give the output data. But what is missing is basically whether the solution is really making sense or not, whether the solution is really helping client is not, is very most important thing. That's why the data literacy skills are very, very most important. So whenever you are teaching your students, please focus more on the data literacy skills and try to understand from the customer perspective how they are going to solve, whether the solution is implementable or not, whether the solution is really help them or not. That's what important, rather than putting a lot of code and other things. Nobody will care about the code. Code is important, but code is a small part of it. But we need to understand other part of the business. Actually, it's a very big subject. I'm just going very fast. So as I told you that data literacy skills from the mathematics and statistics, storytelling skills, and even it's not only academic. You need to have a lot of practical knowledge also. That's why we need to create some kind of portfolio. So whenever you are building some products, you need to understand how people are working in the similar kind of situations. So you need to understand you need to learn from the other people work also. That's where creating the portfolios really helps. So that Kaggle is one of the best place where a lot of data, talented people come and show their work, and that's the place where you can learn. And we also learn so many things from the Kaggle. Go and be part of the Kaggle, see how people are coming with different solutions, how they are creating different solutions, and try to use in your work. And start your work. You also share your work, write the blogs, and attend the meetups. And your Hyderabad, a lot of meetups will happen, and also teaching will give more. So if you wanted to real good at something, you please try to teach. So that's where this thing. That's where you can create the portfolio, because if you want to really build a product, you need to be good at all these things, because this technology is already there. All you need to understand how effective you can use all these technologies to become to create your product. So that's why the same Bernard Moore has given one kind of future job skill set, or one kind of skill set which is really helpful to which is very really helpful for the next 10 years. So these are the some of the qualities every person should have. As I told you, the data literacy. Having data does not ever solve the problem. Relevance of the data important. People will say data is oil, data is electricity, but data at the grassroots level, data is like water. This world is surrounded by the 3/4 of water, but still we are having water problem. So drinking water problem. So having data does not ever solve your problem. So we need to find the relevance of the data. That's why the data literacy skills are very important. So understanding data is very much important. Even when you are building the product also, understanding what kind of data is coming out, what kind of data is important, which part of data is very important to take the decision. So that's why data literacy skills and critical thinking is also one of the most important thing. And as I told you that it's like data technology savviness, because we are in the very dynamic world. We need to use the technology. We need to be ready to learn all the things. Technology savvy is one of the most important thing. And collaboration. So data science is nowhere competitive with the collaboration. So all people needs to work together. If you want to really build the product, you be work with the domain person, the customer, data scientist, data engineer, and the customer also. So that's where it's a collaborative field. And use the if you really want to use the data, use the open source algorithm, use the advanced algorithms, and try to build the product. As I told you that as we are in the dynamic stage, one of the mantra is basically we need to have the inclusion of the life learning and exponential learning capabilities. We need to be like continuous and exponential learning. Then only we are always there in this market. So that's what I have. Yeah, if you have any questions, I will answer. Hello, where India is 10. Hello.
Sir, questions are posted in the chat box.
So where India is in the drug administrative using AR, VR, AV technologies in healthcare is the techno-socio-economic variable proportion in the context of yeah. It's very difficult to answer this kind of question. India is altogether different kind of country. India has billion people with billion problem. These things are already started. I think very soon we can see these kind of technologies will go and see more of these applications at ground root level also. A lot of people are started now working on this. Now earlier most of the companies are try to be technology companies. Now most of the companies have become some kind of healthcare kind of companies. I'm sure in future we can see much more of these kind of applications. Yeah, it will take time, but definitely it will happen. I will just show one kind of quote from IBM. IBM, sir. Earlier. So more than 20 years ago, experts predicted that every organization would become an internet organization. But now every organization become an organization, not because they can, because it must. Because the data, technology, everything is happening. We ultimately use the technology to leverage the data to give some kind of insights. If not, then there is no point of data. So data cannot talk anything. It's a silo. So we need to apply our knowledge on the data and try to find the insights. That's why if somebody asks what is analytics, we need to say data, knowledge, and action. So that action now we can easily put in the product perspective because the technology is already there. So some people will ask how to get the ideas. I think we already had a lot of how to get it. So we need to think what is the most challenging task in your business and try to build some kind of product around it. You take the problem and see how technology can help and try to build some kind of product. That's where we need to start. So yes, solving this problem doesn't is not difficult because the technology is already evolved. Now we have cloud, we have edge, we have algorithms, we have data support, we have open source community. So all you need to find the suitable product and start your journey. I'm sure, I know we are a little bit late. I think we already taken 1 hour. Yeah. And all the time, last session is really difficult, tough to. I hope I made justice for your time. Yeah. If anybody have
On behalf of JBIIAI, I thank you for your great presentation. The presentation which you gave today was really subjective and informative to our participants. Definitely, our participants got a lot of information and inspiration from you, sir. Thank you so much for being a part of this webinar. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.